this team has absolutely no quit. No quit, Petey. And an extra point was not what they needed, but for the standings, but maybe it's what they needed for their morale. Thank you all so much for tuning in to the PHNX Coyotes postgame show, brought to you by the one and only DraftKings Sportsbook app, America's top-rated sportsbook app. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe wherever you get your podcasts, and leave us a 5-star review. I'm Leah here. Petey, Sean behind the Mac. Gonna give him a shout out every show now. Craig calling in from Mullett shortly. Petey, take it away.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, from the way this team looked the other night against Carolina to the way they look tonight against New Jersey, it's two different teams.
Yeah.
And first of all, we talk about the depleted roster since the trade deadline and all the players that they lost and how that they played after that trade deadline. They didn't come out with their usual effort. Today they did. I tell you what, this was a much different team, and we talked about Schmaltz and Keller last game were virtually non-existent. Today they team up for one of their spectacular goals. They looked all in again. They skated well. Everybody chipped in. We'll get to more about some of the goal scores in a minute here, but it was a good team, 60 minutes. And this is one thing this Coyote team has done. Even if they get behind, they keep battling back. And this New Jersey team is the second best team in the Metro, third in the East. That's a good hockey team.
Yeah, and they got better at the trade deadline.
Yeah, and Timo Meier gets his first goal as the Devil, and that I thought they were fast. They had their offensive game going. The Coyotes were right with them. And it's moments like that you go, okay, you get maybe a little too excited. Oh, they're with them. I know in a 7-game series, they're not going to stick with this team. But they played bear hockey tonight. Andre Tourigny wants this team to compete. He wants them to work hard till the final buzzer, win or lose, and they did that tonight with a huge goal by Jack McBain with 2 minutes to go.
I gotta say, our vibe here at the studio, I know it's been Tank, Bedard, but something about that, like I think just last Friday we were so down. So it's kind of, the point was a little bit extra, but it was just nice. It was just nice, and you have to imagine it's the same. I'm sure, the guys in the room would have wanted it to be 2 points, but you can't be upset with the performance they put on tonight. So I think we should get into the numbers in this one. It's a classic Coyotes outing, outshot 40-29. Connor Ingram made 35 saves. Devils 100% on the power play, 1-for-1. Coyotes 0-for-2. Not a ton of penalties in this one, but you got to give it up for the Yotes, blocking shots, laying in front of the puck. Josh Brown, who just came back from injury, took a stinger there in the third period. So 20 block shots for the Coyotes to the Devils 15. And
one thing like this that jumps out at me is you look at the shots on goal, almost 30 again. For this team to get 30 goals, or 30 goals. 30 shots
that
against,
would be wild.
30 shots against this New Jersey Devil team. And you look at some of the guys we've been talking about, shoot. And you look at Patrick Nemeth with 4 shots, Liam O'Brien with 4 shots, Lawson Krause with 4 shots. Usually you'll see one of these players on the entire team with 4. To see 3 with 4 and several with 3, including Soderstrom and Clayton Keller, they're delivering more pucks to the net. And if you go back and look at the goals from tonight, they're all because they got the puck to the net. They're not pretty little plays other than the Keller to Schmaltz. The other goals, they threw the puck at the net, and just things happened off of rebounds and broken plays. I know it's a little late in the year to finally start doing that, but it does pay off when you throw pucks at the net, and I thought that was good. The power play, I thought they moved the puck around really well.
In the first period, the first power play of the game, I thought looked really good.
Yeah, they moved the puck around well. They still need to deliver more pucks on the power play like they were doing 5-on-5.
Yeah, absolutely. But unlike last post game where we sat here and we're like, what's one positive? And we talked about one. There are many positives from tonight. But before we get into that, before I forget.
Oh, yeah, we're going to do that.
Let's do the keys.
Let's get that off that.
Because we always know 1.5 is good for OT, so let's see.
It is. Stop the speed. I'm going to say they didn't. And only because they turned the puck over a little bit too much, and this Devils team is really, really quick, young offensive threats. So I'm going to say that's a no. Mullett Magic beat top teams at home. That's what happened. That's a full-on ding for me because teams come in here and they're not ready to play. And we've seen it over and over and over. And the Coyotes are better at the Mullett than they are on the road. And they get these quick starts and they play well and they skate well. And it's all giving them Mullett magic on the goaltending. Ingram gives up gives up a whack of goals in this one, and he gives up 5, but I thought he played really well. I mean, there were moments where he is making saves, point-blank saves from really high-skilled players. I thought he had a really good game. I'll give them a half on the goaltending.
So 1.5.
1.5.
Good for an OT.
Good for an OT.
Yeah, the science is there. We have a hypothesis, and we are
1.5 gets you to overtime.
We are continuously backing it up with real data.
Yes, we are.
We're scientists.
Yes, we are.
All right. Well, let's talk a little bit more about this one, and let's start with Matias Maccelli. What a goal by him! You broke it down. If you missed it, Petey did a whiteboard draw, a in-person live Petey's Puck Talk, if you will, on the PHNX Coyotes Twitter. So go check that out to see how that one started. Connor Ingram, it actually started with him. So shout out Connor Ingram. But it was his 5th of the season. So we've talked about maybe his lack of goal scoring. But this goal put him with 31 points, 3rd among NHL rookies. And if you look at the 2 people above him, they've played 15 and 16 more games than him. So just to think about what he could have done if he wasn't out for that extended stretch with injury. I mean, he's right there in the rookie scoring race.
Yeah, he could be. And we talked about his ability to distribute the puck is elite. His ability to pass the puck, that no-look passes that he's done all season long. He can find guys through sticks, through holes, through legs. Great passer. We would like to see him shoot more. Today, 1 shot, 1 goal. And I will say this, when you watch that play again, first he makes the good play in the defensive zone where he bumps the puck to the middle, but he wants the puck and he demands the puck. You call it a beaver tail when you're slapping your stick on the ice, and he wants the puck. And that's what a goal scorer does. They demand the puck in those type of shooting areas. He just has to get the confidence to do it more because it's a great shot. It's a great look. He follows up into open space. He makes a great play. And he would be he is among the rookie scoring leaders now, but 15 more games? Yeah, like he would be, if not for the way this Arizona team is playing, he'd be much more in the Calder conversation than he is. Unfortunately, there is some little Arizona bias when it comes to stuff like that on the national stage because they don't get the national games. People don't know who Matias Maccelli is, but they will.
Yeah, absolutely they will. Nick Schmaltz scored his 19th of the season tonight. If all goes well for Nick Schmaltz, we're looking at 3 20-goal scorers on this Coyotes team with Clayton Keller, Lawson Krause, and Nick Schmaltz. Just absolutely unbelievable. When you hear Schmaltz from Keller, it's like, there is no Schmaltz from anybody else but Keller. No. It's just unbelievable. And we got to give Clayton Keller a little shout out because that was his 60th point of the season, that assist. The 2nd year in a row, he's earned 60 points. And the 3rd time in his career, 2017-18 was the other time. And he's now just 6 points short of a career high, which, with 19 games to go, it's very, very, very possible. And he was on pace last year for that before his unfortunate injury, which happened around this time last year. So fingers crossed, Clayton Keller having a career year. Yeah,
and it's the same guys doing it again. Last year they had 3 20-goal scorers. It was Keller, Schmaltz, and Krause, and it looks like that's going to happen again. Let's see if we can get them closer to 30.
Yeah.
That would be
I think it's possible. Keller, it's possible.
It is.
All things going well. Let's see.
But again, they're not... How am I trying to phrase this? They're not playing stressful games right now. There's no pressure on this team right now to win, so it makes it... So you can make plays like that. Mm-hmm. You're not double clutching like I can't make a mistake. You can play a little more free when these games aren't as meaningful. And so I wouldn't be surprised if they do get closer. If Keller doesn't get closer to 30. Schmaltz, the 2 of them together, when they're playing like this, they're hard to beat. And you see why Schmaltz drew so much attention at the trade deadline. Because he does have that offensive ability, and we talked about Krause too, and his ability to get to the net. Some of the shots he had tonight, really good looks. I think they led to some of the offense, like the first goal he gets from throwing it at the net, and I think the one that led the McBain goal, both the McBain goal and the Maccelli goal start with Krause getting the puck to the net. So even though he doesn't score, him getting the puck to the net really gets this offense going.
Yeah, absolutely. Jack McBain, I feel like. I'm sorry to say this, but ever since Nick Bukestad's been out of the lineup...
Who? Don't do that.
You're still voting him king. Ever since he's been out of the lineup, Jack McBain's had to step into maybe a more elevated role, and honestly, he's taken it and run with it. We've seen him have a lot of success as of late. A goal and an assist tonight, his 9th goal of the season, getting that goal to send this one to overtime. And he's right in the mix for this team.
Yeah, you look at what he's done. So he fills in the slot on the line where Bukestad was playing between Maccelli and Krause, and that line provided the offense tonight. They were good. And I tell you what, we've said this about this kid all along this season. It's his ability to drive the net and make plays from the hash marks in. He's strong. He's a big body guy that fights, hits, and he can score. I'm telling you what, this is a huge pickup. And I know when you talk to people around the Minnesota Wild organization, it's not they traded him. They just couldn't sign him. And the reason they couldn't sign him is they didn't have a spot for him to play. He's not getting this ice time with the Minnesota Wild. He's not developing like this as he would have if he would have been in the Minnesota Wild. So for him, it was a huge opportunity to sign for this Coyotes team. And we had him as a bubble guy for the roster this season, but he's clearly shown he's an everyday NHL player, and his bar could be very high. So he's going to be a fun guy to watch as this rebuild continues.
Absolutely. And lastly, I've been stalling this as long as possible to anticipate the arrival of our friend Altex. I see the chat calling for Altex.
Where is Altex?
I don't know. Altex, where are you? If anybody knows him,
it's early too.
Him.
He's in Central Time Zone. It's
early. I know. Altex, we've been thinking of you. And we're just going to talk about it. Hopefully you're watching or listening to this later. But Zack Kassian scored a goal tonight. And it wasn't even like a weird, gross one. It was actually kind of a nice shot, which is the crazy part. His second goal of the season, his first goal in 38 games. His last goal was October 25th versus Columbus, which was the 6th game of the season. And go ahead and give the assists to Liam O'Brien and new Coyote Mackey. Wow. Who had that? If someone put money on Kassian for a goal tonight on DraftKings, please tell me how much he won. I need to know.
You watch it. I tell you what, that was a hell of a shot.
I know.
Like, the puck does come to him off of a rebound. It hits some bodies in front and comes right on his stick. And I tell you what, DP said it here, that it's bar down. And it's a hell of a shot.
Unreal.
He finishes the night with just over 6 minutes of ice time, and some of that is going from the penalty box to the bench on serving the 2-minute man on the ice penalty, which, by the way, he gets to do almost every time they get one of those, that he gets to serve that penalty. Great for him. And then not only does he score the goal, he gets the intermission interview with Bally Sports with Todd Walsh, and it was a fantastic interview.
I know. It's great to hear from him.
Great to hear from him. I kind of forget he's there sometimes, Altex, sorry. But, it was a great interview, great shot. And like he said, maybe there's more to come now. Yeah. Maybe that'll open up the floodgates for the Zack Kassian brigade.
Yeah, absolutely. So in that honor, and in honor of Altex, and in honor of the fact that I don't think he's ever been king of the game once before, Zack Kassian is tonight's DraftKings king of the game with the largest crown I've ever seen to date. Zack Attack, 1 goal. I love how it's like his name and crown are huge, and then just like 1 goal.
Yeah. Well, that's great. Just like we were saying, it's 1/3 of the way to a hat trick when we said it when he gets the goal in the second.
I think that was Vagoda in the Discord. Shout out Vagoda. That was a really funny comment. But Twitter in the Discord when that goal happened was one of like the 5 funniest minutes of the internet today, for sure.
And I talk about Michael brought up Mackey. In his first game. His first game as a Coyote. Plays just over 13 minutes, paired with Soderstrom. He was okay.
Yeah, a shot did go off his foot, which, not his fault. It did happen to unintentionally set up New Jersey to score a goal. But it could happen to anyone.
Sure. Yes. I think this was a situation where you're a new team, and it's going to take them a while. At defense, you got to learn their systems. How are we playing rushes? Who's doing what on breaking out of the zone? It's going to take him a little while to you really go, oh yeah, he fits in and he gets it. So for me, a guy coming in he's only played a handful of games this year, right? Like he wasn't an everyday guy in Calgary. So I thought he played well. Good. He played good, and good was good enough for your first game here. I think he will continue to grow. I think brings a little bit of an edge to his game. I mean, moved the puck out of the zone, made the one quick, makes the quick first pass. It was fine. they'll have to see how he defends the net front a little bit. He's going to get under sticks. He's going to front pucks. Means he's going to try to block him. Is he going to try to get guys out of the way? We'll have to. They'll work on that with him. But for his first game, I give him a big thumbs up. Yep. I think it was a good start for what he's going to have to provide for this team over the last 18.
Absolutely. Brett Ritchie still not in Arizona. He's dealing with some visa issues, but hopefully we'll see him on Tuesday. And the Coyotes sent back Kesselring, Kolyachonok, and Kellerman down to Tucson with Josh Brown stepping back into the lineup. So lots of new faces in and out every day, it feels like. But for those who might have sprinkled some money on Zack Kassian, and if you're out there, please, I need to hear from you. I really do. Just tell me. Or if you were a little bit more on the conservative side and just did Schmaltz Keller points, I mean, cha-ching every time on the DraftKings Sportsbook app, you could have won yourself some money. And I will say, Sean did live bet the Coyotes. There's a formula to doing so, and he was kind of right on it tonight. It was so close.
Thought he had it.
So close.
They get the 2-2 or the goal 2 minutes to go.
Yeah, it did add some electricity to our viewing experience, which is what's so fun about the DraftKings Sportsbook app. So if you want to win yourself some money on DraftKings, download it now. Use the code PHNX. New customers can bet $5 and get $200 in free bets instantly. That's only a DraftKings Sportsbook with code PHNX. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details. Petey, before you were telling me you enjoyed some brews last night.
I did.
What were you drinking?
It was Kilt Lifter.
Duh.
Yeah, Kilt
It's
Lifter.
like it's your brand.
It was a Saturday night Kilt Lifter night. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. There were no Coyote games. It was a perfect time to have 1, 2, or 6 Kilt Lifters.
Yeah, and you know it's another perfect time to drink beer? At a spring training game.
Oh, buddy.
The weather finally this weekend started to feel a little bit more like spring. It's been a cold winter here in Arizona, as Arizona winters go. But
yeah,
as Arizona winters go.
Right. Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah, we're
fair.
from Buffalo, Minnesota, and Toronto. Give me a break.
Exactly.
So if you want to enjoy a nice Four Peaks beer under the sun out at a spring training game, you should definitely check that out. A golden lager, day drinker, desert day drinker.
I don't know, and I'm a Kilt Lifter fan from beginning to end. We know this,
yes,
and my allegiance is there. But at a spring training game, I don't know if WOW is not the perfect.
It is. It's the perfect baseball beer. It's my favorite part of going to D-backs games. They got it on tap there. Money.
So good.
I was gonna. Petey, can we go to a spring training game? I want to go to a baseball game with you.
Love baseball.
I want to.
But it's got. There are some rules though. I won't go to the Twins played Tampa Bay inside a dome in spring training. First, that should not be allowed. You shouldn't be able to play indoors. So it's got to be out. There's no choice here in Arizona. So outside, but it's got to be sunny. The sun's really important.
That's very fair.
And so there's no night games. It's day games only. Don't really even care who's playing. Not that important. And
beer. Yep. So
they don't even need to play their best players. I don't even care. I don't care if it's the guys wearing number 90 to 95. And no offense to the guys that wear 95 in spring training, you're probably not making the team. Cold beer, the sound, just the sounds of baseball.
The vibes. So it's beginning to feel a lot like spring, and you can grab your tickets for Four Peaks' amazing spring beer dinner. Hello, sign me up at fourpeaks.com/events. Must be 21 years or older to enjoy responsibly. All right, as we wait for Craig, a couple other things I want to talk about. First of all, Petey, the Coyotes had yet another too many men on the ice penalty tonight.
And so, again, league leading too many men on the ice penalty, and this time, I always I have blamed and Coach Tournier said it's not because of the 11-7. He said that publicly. He said it. Craig has asked him point blank. He said it has nothing to do with it. This time they're playing 12-6, means 12 forwards, 6 defensemen. Just too bad that 3 forwards go to the bench and 4 forwards come out. And Alltech, do you know who the 4th player was?
Zack Kassian.
Zack Kassian.
I thought you said it was Travis Boyd's fault.
No, because I went back and looked at the line rotations and who was coming. He was the one leaving the ice. I thought he had overextended his shift, which made confusion on 2 guys jumping on for him, but that's not what happened.
Yeah. So
Zach just went out with the wrong line.
That's a bummer.
Well, that's okay. He just wanted more than 6 minutes ice time. You can't fault him. It's like a caged tiger. You got to let him loose sometimes, and he just wanted out.
He was feeling it. And you know what? Right after that,
he scored.
So
yeah, that's it is. It's something that got it. And I'm going to give him a little bit of a pass, too, because the lines are getting mixed up. Different players on the bench. It is definitely happens.
It is what it is. Another thing I want to touch on is, and we saw this a lot in the Discord and on Twitter, Dawson Mercer for the New Jersey Devils. He was the draft pick the New Jersey Devils used to select him was the one the Coyotes traded away to get Taylor Hall. So when you hear Coyotes fans, when you hear Dawson Mercer's name, it's a little bit like pressing on a wound, I think. And he has been on fire. Goals in 8 straight games coming into this one. 10 goals, 5 assists, 15 points in 8 games. He didn't score a goal tonight, but he did continue his point streak. This one was just like a tough pill to swallow. And the thing is, you have to remember, he could have been, first of all, the Coyotes might not have drafted him because he might not have filled the need they wanted at that time. That's number one. Number two, he might not, even if he was here, he might not be producing at the same rate because it's a different team, different coach, different system. So you have to remember all those things. And also there was, of course, the forfeited draft picks around that time as well. So Coyotes fans take solace in the fact that he was probably never going to be a Coyote for like 4 other different reasons. Sure. But it still is a tough pill.
Yeah, you don't know they're going to draft that player. But it is ironic that he's in the spot that was taken by the Taylor Hall trade. By the way, what Taylor Hall and Mercer have in common, neither one plays for the Coyotes, and they're both going to the playoffs. Huh.
No.
How about that for Coyotes fans? Take that one to bed with you tonight. That was tough.
This kid can play. Be positive.
And you look at, and this is what Craig's going to try to bring this together as following the New Jersey plan. This is what the Coyotes want to be. They want to have all of their first round draft picks paying off and playing well. He's not the only one. They have guys in the first and second round. A lot of those guys are in this lineup right now. This is a young, fast team. They're about the same age as the Coyotes, within average days, within 20 days of what the Coyotes are for youngest teams. But this is second team in the Metro Division, and if they get good goaltending, I mean, we'll see. We'll see what the playoffs bring for them. But that's the model the Coyotes want to have. They want to have first-round draft picks to play and contribute and make this team a perennial playoff team. And Mercer is definitely part of that. And who knows if he would have been a Coyote, but sure would, like Mercer and Cooley and Gunther and Maccelli.
Stop.
Okay.
Stop.
Done. It's a positive.
Yeah.
I don't know why it was a positive again, but it is somehow.
Somehow it's a positive.
Somehow.
And one more thing before Craig gets here. He's walking up. Speaking of playoff teams, so Tampa Bay Lightning are a playoff team, okay?
I've heard
and
that,
every single night on the show, every single night, we pull up the numbers and we look at the shots on goal, and the Coyotes 9 times out of 10 are outshot. And a lot of times they are in the single digits of shots in a period.
Yep.
Today, the Tampa Bay Lightning had 0 shots on goal. Do you know who's on the Tampa Bay Lightning?
Yeah, that's a pretty good team.
Steven Stamkos, Nikita Kucherov,
Braden Point, Hagel.
Heard of him?
Hedman,
0.
Sergachev. No shots on goal the entire period.
0.
None.
They're a playoff team.
Playoff team?
They
3-time Stanley Cup finalists. What the hell? Look, at the Coyotes, we kind of expect it. When we joke about it, well, maybe they'll get a shot or two. This is the Tampa Bay Lightning, and now the concern starts to come in. They've lost 2 in a row. They've only won 2 of their last 10. And who's starting to get footsteps behind them? The wagon that is the Buffalo Sabres.
The Burrs.
They're only 11 points behind with 18 games to go.
Up the Burrs, baby.
That might be a little bit.
Burrs.
The Burrs, I don't think the Burrs can catch them. That's a lot.
But if we just want to add some positivity to the night, it's not just the Coyotes who do shit like that.
Yeah, exactly. So you got the low shot total for the year is not the Arizona Coyotes for a single period.
That's unreal.
It's the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Like
First time this season.
You said to me, like I would have said Chicago, or that, or maybe like I don't know, Philadelphia. I don't know, someone toward the bottom.
Well, that didn't have the offensive power that these guys have. Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, no, I would never in a million years have guessed that. So that was just another crazy thing that went on. And we're like just jumping around the NHL, but it was an interesting day. Shayne Gostisbehere. So obviously we saw him Friday score his first goal as a Carolina Hurricane.
On the power play
against the Coyotes. Well, today the Hurricanes played again. First of all, demolished the Tampa Bay Lightning. 1 goal, 2 assists. Power play goal. First Carolina Hurricane ever to score power play goals in his first 2 games.
The defenseman.
defensemen. That's what I meant.
3 of the forwards.
So that trade seems to be working out.
How do you think he feels? Like, he did thank Bill. He did thank the organization that you work really hard for a year and a half, restart your career, and now you're a team that's threatening to be a Stanley Cup contender. What a difference when you wake up. What the start of the week from Monday to Sunday. What a difference. And he's contributing, and there's nothing more you want to do when you get to a new team is you want to contribute. Timo Meier scores today in his first game as a Devil. Patrick Kane yet to do that with the Rangers, and you see Gostisbehere get 4 points in 2 days. Oh, that they sure like you on your new team. Makes it a lot easier getting to the rink and being around your locker room. So really happy to see Ghost do that and have that kind of success for Carolina.
You know who else scored?
Boogie.
Yeah.
Boogie, buddy. Go to Twitter, watch the Bukestad goal. And I know the puck comes to him inside the blue paint and he taps in. Watch what he does to his stick from the time he wins the faceoff till he scores the goal. It's like a baton twirler at the 4th of July parade. It's spinning around, and so like the butt end of the stick is on the ice, and he's spinning around, gets it set just in time to tap that home. So please go watch that on Twitter because I was fascinated by it. Thank you.
And Jacob Chikrin also scored his first goal as an Ottawa Senator.
I think he's happy to be in Ottawa from what I've read.
From what I've seen on social media, it seems that way. But enough trade deadline talk. Yep. We've talked enough about it. And let's bring in the man, the myth, the legend. It's Craig.
Craig's here.
What's up?
Whoa. Hey, guys. What's up?
Not much. What's up with you?
Well, I got another point. So there's that. I'm sure you already talked about that. Petey, you are like rocking is this like Minnesota plaid that you're rocking tonight?
We're just
going on here?
It's a rough winter here. We're just making it through the winter. I got the plaid going. A little upper northwest United States. Feeling the grunge right now.
My takeaway from this game tonight is this team was down emotionally the last time we saw them on Friday. They were in a tough spot. They had a meeting. Andre called a meeting, talked to the players, and just basically, it wasn't like it was the riot act or anything. He said last season at the trade deadline, it took them a while to bounce back, and then they started having fun, started winning some games. We saw what happened at the end of last season. Of course, we have a different perspective on that than the Coyotes, but he wanted to make sure that it didn't take as long for them to turn the page. They're still professionals. They still have to come out and compete. There's still a lot of opportunity here. I know they didn't get the win tonight, but they rallied from a 2-goal deficit against a really good team again and got a point out of this game. I got to hand it to these guys. They just don't stop playing hard.
And it's something you're going to have to look at the end of this season when we go back and look at the teams that are playoff teams and top teams in their divisions, how well the Arizona Coyotes did at the Mullett Arena. But, Carolina, they beat Toronto twice if you're keeping score at home. Boston, they beat at the Mullett. They've had some really good games against top teams, and this is just another one. I do think teams' first time through the Mullett, it's tougher to play here.
Yep. It is.
Mullett magic,
maybe
real.
So. Yeah, and I don't even know if it's like if you're a team like New Jersey and you come once a year, I don't know if you ever adjust to this playing environment. It might just be weird for them. But, I mean, again, though, they had a 2-goal lead. New Jersey had a 2-goal lead in this game, and the Coyotes came storming back. Unreal. Just
crazy.
Unreal.
Who else did you talk to tonight, Craig?
We were hoping for Zack Kassian, who I don't know if there's some relevance to him because I don't know what you guys did before I got here.
Oh,
yeah, he's been our king of the game.
But All Tex isn't here. We're so upset.
So he's gonna have to listen to this on his drive into work tomorrow. But
neither was Zack Kassian. We were told
maybe they're together.
Maybe he was here. Told he was getting treatment. So I've heard that a few times. Anyway, wait. What's going on here?
How do we know that Zack Kassian isn't just all
the same person?
Have we ever seen them in the same room?
We have never seen Altex and Kassian in the same. They might be the same person.
I mean, we've had athletes watch shows on this network before. It wouldn't be crazy. We had an ASU basketball player comment on Sun Devils last year.
Maybe Altex.
Maybe it's his burner.
It's like Batman and Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Do we have side-by-side photos?
Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
Might have to explore this a little
So you didn't get to talk to him because he was on the intermission interview. It was great.
So great. So I'm glad that Todd Walsh or whoever did the intermission or Luke or
it was Todd.
It was Todd.
Yeah.
So it's good. It's good that they got him, but we didn't get him.
But you didn't.
So we got Jack McBain, who scored a huge goal and was very excited about it and is doing some nice things. I like Jack McBain. I like this guy's future with the team. I think he can really fill a role for them.
Absolutely. And by the way, Jack McBain, and I've seen a lot of comments about this, he and Bill Armstrong look a lot alike. It's pretty funny. Like, I saw a thing like Jack McBain should dress up as Bill Armstrong for Halloween or vice versa.
Wow.
I literally said it when they first signed him, when they were sitting side by side at the podium. I said he looked like his son. Yeah.
Wow.
It's uncanny.
Maybe we should ask him about it tomorrow, because
is he here?
He's gonna be here
tomorrow.
That's right.
Live
like,
here studio.
Here again.
Monday at 12 o'clock. Coyotes GM Bill Armstrong.
So we're on an hour later.
And we'll make sure he doesn't fire you, because I know you guys had a tough talk last time.
I've stepped it up since the last time.
But we'll be talking.
It must be the beer fridge. Do you think it's the beer fridge that brings him back? I know.
Leah, Sean, honest opinion. Has Petey stepped it up?
Yeah, that's fair.
You're bringing your B game, not your A game. Yeah.
Gotta bring your A game.
But yeah, we're really excited to catch up with Bill Armstrong, because obviously the trade deadline just passed. We will ask him all about that and kind of look toward the future as well. So we hope to see everybody live in the chat at noon on Monday on the PHNX Sports YouTube channel, because we will be asking Coyotes GM Bill Armstrong 5 questions from the chat, but only not the first 5, the best 5. So bring your A game, not your B game, not your C game, right. Your A game to the chat, we'll pick 5 questions from the chat to ask. Bill Armstrong.
We will decide the best questions. And yes, we are completely biased about what we think will be the best questions. So no way of knowing what will make the cut. But
that's true. So
you'll find out tomorrow. So be here.
Absolutely. But GMBA, he's getting those draft picks together right now, trying to put this team in a good position for the future. And Craig, you wrote an article a few months ago about the New Jersey Devils and what they've done and the model they've gone for. And now we've seen, I think, a lot of people, at least myself, I did not expect New Jersey to have the season that they're having. But you look at all their young players. We talked about them being one of the youngest teams in the league. But the New Jersey Devils model is something maybe Coyotes fans want to look to as a blueprint for this team to follow.
Yeah, you can go to gophnx.com and just search for New Jersey Devils and you'll find my story. But what it looks at, and I talked to Ray Shero, who was the architect really of most of what you see here. Tom Fitzgerald has filled in some pieces, but Ray Shero was really the architect of that team and didn't unfortunately survive to get to see it come to fruition. But what really excites me from a Coyotes perspective with the Devils, and I say this recognizing that Jack Hughes may be on the cusp of becoming a superstar in this league, but when you look at their lineup, you don't look and say, "Oh my God, they have Sidney Crosby, or they have Austin Matthews or Connor McDavid," or some examples of teams that have won it like Patrick Kane. They don't have that level of player, and yet here they are in contention. You want to believe that you can do it more ways than the ways that I've talked about a lot in print lately. New Jersey could be a really cool model if they could make a deep run here.
Yeah, absolutely. So check out that story. It really paints a good picture. And it is a really interesting blueprint to look at, because there's all sorts of different, team makeups, and it's not just one size fits all. However, it is a lot of draft luck that, like Ronaldo said in the chat, draft luck does help. We've seen Jack Hughes, we've seen Nico Hischier, and then of course New Jersey picked second at the last draft. So we need that draft luck.
Nico Hischier had the game winner tonight, and I love his game, and I didn't know what he was going to be, honestly, when he came into this league. That was a little bit of an underwhelming draft, it looked like at the time, and they went with Nico Hischier instead of Nolan Patrick, and he's a really good two-way center. Like in some, I don't want to compare him to my man crush Patrice Bergeron, but this guy is a Selke Trophy candidate. He's putting up points. He does a lot of things similar to what Patrice Bergeron does. He is a complete two-way center. That's a neat formula as well. And right now he's playing those top minutes for them.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, our last topic with you, Craig, was going to be with the trade deadline passing, and we saw Friday night's horrific game. How are fans going to want to go to the last games and see the Coyotes play? But I got to say, the Coyotes themselves kind of gave their pitch on the ice tonight. It was a very entertaining game. It was a spirited game. They had no quit. But needless to say, it is going to be an interesting challenge, not just for the last 19 games of the season. Not all of them are home games, but the next 3 seasons to fill Mullett with the bare bones that they have going forward.
Yeah, and I was wondering about tonight's game. It was a good crowd. It was a really good crowd again tonight. And listen, of course, we're talking about Mullett, so it's not the same thing, but it was a good crowd. You get a little worried, like, okay, as they've fallen out of it, as we're past the trade deadline, as there's really nothing to watch, and a bunch of guys went out the door, will people actually still turn out? But it's a good crowd. They're going to need to sustain this for a long time. They're going to be here, and as we heard, and as Bill will tell us, this is the long haul. It's not like they're going to emerge from this next season. That's not going to happen. I mean, I'm not sure if the timeline is as long as Petey said it would be, where we're talking about 2099, but
yeah.
It's going to be a while. It's going to be a while. So
it is.
Will they be able to sustain this? I am really curious about that.
Yep. It'll be interesting. But I got to give credit to the Coyotes for being competitive and interesting all season long. And I actually lied. There's one more thing to talk to you about, Craig. I almost forgot. Tonight was Pride Night, and we've been talking every time there's a specialty jersey, we've been talking about it. And so we got to acknowledge these because I personally, my opinion, I think these are unbelievable. These are the Pride Night warm-up jerseys that they wore and then auctioned off after the game. I thought as far as warm-up, unique, specialty jerseys go, these are unbelievable.
I completely agree. I thought these were awesome. I wouldn't mind seeing these in a game, to be honest.
I'm a big fan of the patch and the numbers.
You can read them. You can read them, Petey.
Can I read the numbers? Yes.
Yeah.
That's all. Yeah, that is a prerequisite for me, Craig. If I can read the numbers, and yes, I can read these numbers.
Yeah,
hockey is for everyone.
I don't need to say anything more than that, but this is a really cool design.
Yep. It really is. So shout out Coyotes for putting on Pride Night tonight and for these awesome jerseys. And hopefully the auctioning off of these jerseys raise some money for some good causes. Craig, anything else you want to touch on before you head out?
No, I'm excited to have Bill in studio again tomorrow. And before he goes live with us, I will have another story up just on some things that I wonder. That's all I'll say.
Okay. Interesting.
That's a tease.
Yeah, that is a tease.
Do we have any other cool live shows this week?
Yes, we do.
Go ahead, Leah.
Oh, I mean, if we want to talk about the state of the Coyotes, who else to ask besides Bill Armstrong than Coyotes president and CEO Javier Gutierrez, who will also be in studio this week, Wednesday at 11 a.m. So really looking forward to talking to Javier Gutierrez and probably asking about his shoe game as well.
We are going to talk about suits and sneaks for sure.
Gotta ask about the shoe game. He's got
fire.
Crazy.
I'm debating suits and sneak night for me at noon on was he noon on Wednesday?
11.
He's 11 on Wednesday. I might go suits and sneaks.
Oh my goodness.
We'll see.
I can't even rival it, so I'm not going to try.
I got some bright white sneaks. Well, we maybe.
Yeah, but yours look like something you wear with scrubs. You look like you work at a hospital.
Well, mine are orthopedic. You know how old I am. You gotta get that comfort arch, buddy.
All right. Goodness.
Karen got the O'Brien jersey.
Oh, awesome!
Karen in the chat.
Love it. All right. Well, Craig, we will see you tomorrow, and looking forward to reading your article.
All right, guys. See you tomorrow.
All right. See ya. As always, you can check out all of Craig's articles over at gophnx.com. Really excited to read that one and go back and read the New Jersey one. It was a great read and it's relevant now. They just played the Devils. So check that out all at gophnx.com. And you can access the Die Hard only articles as well by becoming a Die Hard. 20% off merchandise, 20% off events, including our PHNX tea party. That in the next one, there's another one. Another tea party. We had a blast last time.
We did.
And you can join us.
Did you swing a club at all?
No. But I did drink a Four Peaks beer.
I swung a couple.
Talked to people.
The putting contest was fire.
Yeah, unreal. That's more my speed.
Yeah.
So join us Friday, March 24th for a night of golf, food, drinks, contest prizes, and more at Dawson Ranch. Come hang out with the PHNX crew, fellow Suns fans, and diehards as we watch KD Booker and the Suns battle in the final stretch of the season as they take on the Sacramento Kings. Check the link in the show notes to reserve your spot today. And diehards, check Discord for your exclusive discount link.
And if you want to, you get to hang out with Sean and Totri because they're a very popular draw at the Dawson Ranch Tea Party.
Yep, absolutely. And
if you know, you know.
Coyotes held open practice yesterday at
Yes,
Mullett.
they did.
And I will say a lot of people in the Discord and on Twitter, and I'm sure a lot of people in this chat, went to Legal Pete's after. And I got a few mentions.
Is that true?
On Twitter that the queso was in stock
and is back
and fire as well. So I'm just saying I have not steered anybody wrong.
On the queso's right, because it's got to be that right blend of cheese and spices. You don't.
Yes.
And they nail it.
Nail it.
I agree.
I mean, I crave a Legal Pete's constantly. So those of you who went, I'm jealous. I got to get out there again soon. So if you're heading to any Coyotes games anytime soon, great place to stop pregame, and nothing cures, and especially for March Madness, which starts very soon. Nothing cures.
That's an all-day event.
Nothing cures. My bracket is busted in the first round. Like fresh limes, tequila, lots of tequila, and sweet agave. So you can try out an Illegal Pete's coin premium or frozen margarita. Stop by for happy hour, 3 to 6 p.m. every day. Happy hour is that perfect window before a 7 o'clock Coyote start. Just saying, you end at 6, get over to the game for warm-ups.
Perfect.
Pre-game spot. Just saying, get that queso before a game.
Did you see Blatantly Asinine come up with a new segment to the show?
No, I did not.
Earlier?
What is it?
It's Craig Wonders.
Craig Wonders.
I think that's a new Craig Wonders.
I love that.
Because Craig said he's gonna Craig Wonders.
Gonna ponder.
What does Craig wonder?
I love it.
And I think that's a bit.
I agree.
Blatantly Asinine, I think
we'll give you
bit.
some credit. We will.
I think it's a great. What does Craig wonder?
I don't know. I can't wait to find out.
Because if you read some of the articles, and what does he put on in his mailbags when he puts those articles, like to lead into his mailbags?
It's always a random topic.
Unbelievably random.
Yeah, so random. That's Craig Wonders.
Yep, that's Craig
Wonders. I love
Wonders.
it. In the off season, we should just have that once a week. Craig Wonders.
Craig Wonders.
And you can be.
And he does. It doesn't even have to be hockey related.
Your segment will be what stressed Petey out today.
Yes. What's stressed Petey out today?
We'll find.
There's a whole thing with a knife and chicken yesterday, but we're not.
You know. Petey is day to day with an upper body injury.
Exactly.
Let's just say. All right. Well, let's take a look at the Coyotes' upcoming schedule. These next 2 weeks are hell.
God, where's the win?
We're back to the Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday schedule like they had in January. I thought we got over it.
The back-to-back Saturday, Sundays, I'm not a fan.
And it's worse for them because they're in Colorado Saturday. Luckily, it's a 4 o'clock start. But then back home, thank God at least they've had some actual home stands.
And those two teams are playing really well right now, too.
Yeah.
Minnesota and Colorado.
Yeah,
Calgary needs the win. Vancouver and Chicago are teams battling for the Bedard basement. So those 2 games on the 16th and 18th must lose games.
Absolutely. So it's a tough upcoming schedule.
But I will say this:
to the end,
the 11th against our sister station at DNVR. I don't mind a win there.
It is fun.
Just saying.
It is
because we had a winning record against the Stanley Cup champion Colorado Avalanche a season ago. I would like to continue that into this year. Sorry, AJ, Rudo, Jesse,
and Megan, Petey,
and sometimes Blaze.
Any final thoughts from this one?
No, I think that this team got back together. I think they got Bear did it right, and he set the tone from trade deadline to today. They got their team back on track. They played Coyote hockey, and he said it when we interviewed him the other day that they might not win the games, but they have to compete for their games. And you want to see that kind of compete level, and that's what they did tonight, right till the final buzzer. That's what we're going to see for the next 18 games from this Coyote team, is a team that plays as hard as they can, whoever's on the ice, from buzzer to buzzer. So I think it was a moral victory, even though they get 1 point out of it, they don't get 2. That's a big home. I'm going to say it's a victory. Getting 1 point against the New Jersey Devils, who are one of the hottest teams in the league and second in the Metro. So this is the way this Coyote team needs to play for the next 18 games.
Yep. And you know what else tonight was, Petey?
I don't.
Another line complete.
Get the hell out of here.
The punch card.
There's the punch card.
2 lines plus 1 star left.
Can you believe, honestly, when DP put this up for the very first time, I'm like, oh my God, that is a lot of games. We're never going to get there. And it's the end.
It's within our sights.
It's within sight.
I am our sights.
Excited.
So crazy
Shout
stuff.
out to Sean for that design of the punch card. Still, we haven't mentioned it in a while, but that is.
But every graphic you see, mostly Sean designed, and they're unbelievable.
Fantastic.
He's very talented. All right, we have a $4 super sticker from Shayne. This one is Shiba Dog gifting a large bone, bowing respectfully.
So now we have to go to.
That's what's happening. Yep, that's what's happening.
See, like when Shayne does that, I learn a little bit more.
Yep.
So I get it.
Yep. All right. Well,
I am disappointed with Altex. I am going to say it at the end of the show. So Altex, when you're listening tomorrow, We expect to see a tweet tomorrow holding the Kassian stick and jersey on Twitter tomorrow in honor of his king of the game.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And you missed the show today.
It's okay. We forgive you.
Maybe celebrating.
Yeah, maybe. Well, everybody here in the chat live with us, thank you so much. Hit the like button on this video, or if you're watching later, hit the like button. And wherever you get your podcasts, like, subscribe, leave us a review there as well. You can follow us on Twitter at SPetersHockey, at Leah Merrill, at Craig S. Morgan, at Sean_DePaz, at PHNX_Coyotes. Follow PHNX Sports across all social platforms. And most importantly, subscribe to the PHNX Sports YouTube channel. Hit the notification bell. Be there for Bill Armstrong tomorrow, Monday at noon. So you can get your questions in the chat and it may be asked to GMBA himself. Really looking forward to that one. Big week ahead. Lots of stuff going on. So stay locked in right here on PHNX Sports. But everybody, enjoy the rest of your Sunday and we'll see you tomorrow.